Well, Kent Hughes has been pretty busy so far during this offseason, hasn't he? Let's go ahead and do a quick recap. First, he went out and signed Michael Pezzetta, which again was priority number one. He also signed Cole Caulfield and Sean Monahan to a couple of nice contracts. He brought in Elias Anderson and Mitchell Stevens to help out Team Rocket. And finally, becoming a local hero, he went out and signed Raphael Harvey-Bedard to a fresh new contract. And yes, that is his name. Gee. Now I'm going to show you guys the cap hits on some of these deals as well. And one thing you got to admit, if there's a strong point that Kent Hughes has, it's definitely contract negotiations. Okay, this guy is a former player agent, so we all know what that means. He can sell snow to Alaska, and we're very fortunate to have him on board. Now, he also made a couple of trades, which is going to be today's topic. First, he acquired a young newfie from Colorado that likes to go by the name of Alex Newhook. He gave up a couple of juicy 2023 picks just to get him. And he also traded away Big Joe Edmondson to the Washington Capitals for pretty much a dump truck full of cow manure. Now, while I highly doubt Kent Hughes is going to find the time to use all this cow manure, but what I do know is moving Joe Edmondson definitely cleared up some valuable space on the back end for some of the young defensemen, who are trying to crack the lineup. So this is the main reason why I really like this trade, okay? I feel like Edmondson could have been a lot more valuable if Hughes would have waited to trade him until the trade deadline. But A, what if he was injured? And B, if he's not injured, then you're going to have to sit out a young defenseman all season long just to showcase Big Joe. And to be completely honest, I'd rather watch paint dry than have any of these young guys sit out. But the big question right now is, are the Habs done? Is Montreal's roster complete heading into the regular season, or should we expect some more moves? Now, I'm going to go ahead and say yes, we are probably going to see at least one more move before the regular season begins, possibly more. And my reasoning is this. I still feel like the Habs have a few too many players on their roster. You know what I mean? There's going to be some young guys trying to make a push to crack the lineup during the preseason. And when you look at the third and fourth liners on this team right now, the Canadiens have like 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. Look at this. This is a random lineup that I just made for argument's sake. Now, I know Dvorak is injured, but he is going to return at some point, and when he does, there's going to be like 5 healthy lines. I don't know why, but I keep forgetting that Rim Pitlick even exists, but he does, and he's actually still under contract. And at the very bottom, I named out just a few hungry forwards that are going to be attending camp, a few starving Marvins. And I'm not saying they're going to be pushing themselves onto the team, but what I am saying is that I honestly wouldn't be shocked if one of them really stood out and forced Kent's hand. Now, of course, we can argue all day that having all these guys is great, because when somebody goes down due to an injury or they get hemorrhoids so bad that it's about to spread to their lungs, then hey, we got some bodies to replace them, which is convenient. But at the same time, I'm still pretty optimistic that the new additions to the Habs medical team can prevent some of these long-term injuries. Gee whiz, the Canadiens broke records over the past couple of seasons for man games lost, and I mean, we just can't let this become a normal routine or it's going to get really, really annoying. So if we put the injury argument to the side for just a minute, what I'm hoping for is that the Canadiens move a veteran forward. Gee, such a tough decision. Now, of course, the fan favorites to move here are probably going to be Harry and Lloyd over here. But even if only one of these guys gets moved, it's most likely going to be Mike Hoffman, okay? I think he's the most appealing. His contract expires this season. It's pretty much the same situation as Joe Edmondson. And maybe if, teams are serious about making a playoff push this season, they could be persuaded into taking a flyer on Mike Hoffman. But to move Armia, on the other hand, it's going to be tough, really tough. He's got one more year left on his contract, and unfortunately, I feel like you're not going to see him go until at least next season, but I could be wrong. After all, I don't have a crystal ball, just a bottle of liquor. Now, as for some of the other candidates, I know there's a lot of people out there who still want to see Josh Anderson get moved. I'm actually not a member of this club at all. I really like the guy, even though there is an argument to be made that he's making a bit too much money. Personally, I'd hang on to him unless someone pitches an offer that, Kent Hughes just can't refuse. Something ridiculous. And I would be shocked if a deal like this went down over the next couple of months. I also don't see one happening for Christian Dvorak either, who's actually not even going to be around to begin the season. Dvorak is still banged up. I heard somebody told him a joke and now they got to weld his face back together. Hey, Christian, I was kidding. Settle down. But he really is going to be out to start the season, which makes it more difficult to move him. I mean, if you're buying a PlayStation, you're going to want to buy a PlayStation that works, not one that was used for a piñata. Just saying. Next up, we got Brendan Gallagher. I know there's a lot of people out there that want to see this guy go, but his contract is it's next to impossible to move right now, okay? If contracts were wrestlers at a Royal Rumble, Brendan Gallagher's is looking like Andre the Giant. So I think it's safe to say that he's going to be around here for a while, and I've already come to terms with that. But on the bright side, at least he's a legendary character to mentor the young kids around. You know what I mean? That's what we got to tell ourselves. I've never once seen Brendan Gallagher take a shift off, not even if he's playing with like 2 broken legs. And he is the kind of animal that I want in the locker room as a veteran, showing the young guys the ropes. That's just how I see it. He's a beauty, but he's just a very expensive beauty. Hoffman, there's no easy way to say this, bud, but I feel like you're going to get moved, okay? And I'd start looking for a good deal on a camper van really soon if I were you. I'm just saying. So there you have it. I don't think the Habs are done yet, and I just gave you one trade that I feel is going to happen during the offseason. Somehow, some way, Kent Hughes is going to find a way to say goodbye to Mike Hoffman. You can let me know down in the comment section if you think the Habs are done right now. Maybe you think they're going to move another defenseman. Maybe you're feeling like Caden Primo could get moved, which is actually a good possibility as well. I also want to give a shout out to all my new subscribers. I mean, the channel has grown quite a bit over the past couple of months, and I'm honestly really grateful for it. There's quite a few members, a couple of new patrons. I'm noticing a lot more people that are just frequently commenting and chewing on the like button like it's a milk bone. And I appreciate every one of you, okay? So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.